Welcome to Attack of Opportunity.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Attack of Opportunity. Today, some very special guests, near and dear to my heart. Why? Because they're playing something from Paizo. Starfinder podcast creators Konnery Hansen and Joseph Horne
Hello.
are with me tonight. He jumped the gun. And thank you
I
so
jumped
much.
the gun.
So thank you so much for being on the show.
I'm going
guys.
to attack of opportunity you so many times throughout this.
It has happened. It has happened. Vince and Victoria from the D&D Grandma podcast, and she totally floored me with a bunch of bang, bang, bang. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
So the first question that we always love to ask all of our victims here is, we will start with, well, since he's so gung-ho, Konnery. How did you first know that you were a nerd, geek, one of us?
One of us. I think my nerd debauchery started in I started in theater originally in my freshman year of college, or not college, freshman year of high school. I was in Oliver, and I played Bill Sykes, so that was fun. And then from there, I actually started playing like a very low grade version of Dungeons and Dragons during like off times during rehearsals. And yeah, I ended up having a lot of fun with that, and I would just try to play whenever I could. I didn't really have any of the I feel like maybe the books, so it'd be a lot of just making stuff up and having like the dice set. But that's pretty much when I knew, and then from there, my kind of love for tabletop gaming grew from there, and now I have a whole bookshelf just full of books.
So how old were you when the guy next to you was singing "You Have to Pick a Pocket or Two"?
Well, I was he was, I think, a senior, and I was a freshman. It was a little unprecedented, and I got to kill somebody on stage at my Christian high school, so that was a first.
Oh yeah. Take a tip from Bill Sykes. He can nick what he likes. I'm familiar with Oliver Twist, and I loved Oliver Reed playing the original Bill Sykes in the movie. But sorry.
Yeah, he's great in that.
Yes, but
And you have to bring your dog.
Yeah, right. And I had my big white boxer pirate, and he was on
really?
Stage with me.
With all the kids?
He got exhausted. Oh yeah, with all the kids, and then we had this big boxer like walk around with me. I had him on like this chain leash, so we looked really hardcore. But he was such a good dog.
Oh, that's really cool. No, that's cool. And well, Joseph, try to follow that one up. How did you first?
I was never in theater, but I've always just kind of loved fantasy, sci-fi, that kind of stuff ever since I was little. I was really into trains as a kid, still am.
Building like a Giga model train set right now.
Yeah, building a model train set right now with my dad, which has been fun.
I remember those days. Dad had a little room we weren't allowed in, had the train set and all the paper mache fountain and the whole bit.
Yeah, we do it in the garage.
The first thing we started working together on was like that Pathfinder zombies thing that we did, where we just kind of made that up.
We took the rules for Pathfinder and made like a post-apocalyptic setting of our own.
Oh, so you took the minis and dropped them on Dad's train set, right?
No, we should have.
It's terrain, man. Look at all that terrain, right? Lay the guy out on the tracks, save me.
Could you imagine like a big like zombie railroad campaign? That'd be somebody do that.
There is a zombie train anime.
Ooh.
Where there's this train that never stops running, and it goes from town to town, and the world is this post-apocalyptic, like zombiness. And this one guy,
oh shit, I like that.
No, it's good. This guy gets bitten and zombied up, and he finds a way to stop it. And he's supernaturally, and a bunch of kids on a train. I just can't remember the name of it.
It's like Snowpiercer.
Yeah, like something like that, but only with zombies. Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Anyway, so we were talking about your theater days, Konnery, and was there a defining moment besides acting getting you into the role playing around the table where it's like, I'm an actor, I want to do this for college and everything, right? And then there's a point of like, well, just for fun, just around the table.
Oh, absolutely.
What does this do?
There was a point. There was a point in finally my senior year, I started to get less interested in acting and singing. I still love it. I go to see musicals or plays when I can, but there was a part where I was like, you know what, I think I'm good. I don't really want to do this. But I still find so much joy like telling stories. Like what I do now is actually, I'm a writer, so I get to write stories, and I love that so much that I pretty much just pressed forward with that, and I think this is just an excellent translation of writing and eccentric creativity and telling a story with friends. It's just so much fun. It's everything I could possibly want, to be honest.
So are you the official GM for the Starship Impala Starfinder podcast?
I was the first season GM, and now we're going over to Joe, and he's our second season guy.
Well, we'll talk more
So
about the show.
I've done.
Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry. We will talk more about
Right.
the show in a minute here, but
Yeah.
you were talking about writing, and it's just like, oh, are you the guy? Is he the guy? But you're both the guy.
I was the guy.
I was the guy.
I was the guy for like 80 some odd episodes.
Wow. And then they fired you, and now we're over to Joe.
Then
Okay.
I got canned.
It was his choice. No, he
It was
passed
my
it up.
choice,
He was
yeah.
ready to pass
okay.
it on.
I had a distinct ending in mind, and I was like, okay, I don't know where I would go from here. And I know Joe loves GMing, and so I was like, I'll give it over to him, and he makes great stuff, and he always tells great stories. So
We went through 10 GMs, and I finally have Rob Hammond, who's really GM, because I'm doing the GMing for like all the shows we put up, and I'm like, it's not the Me Network, it's this, and the GM angle we keep trying, we do off air, and it keeps tanking, it doesn't work out. So Joe, new GM,
Yes.
new guy to suck up to. So about getting on your show, same question, Joe. Was there a gateway drug, a video game, something you were saying that got you into this, where you just kind of went, you discovered D&D or an RPG, and it's like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
You know?
For me, it was a video game for sure. It was Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. The first time I played it was at my friend's house. I didn't have it yet. And I showed up and he was like, you need to try this. You'd love it. And I sat down and started playing. Next thing I know, my mom's there to pick me up. And like the entire day had passed. I didn't even notice. I thought it had been like an hour. And I told my friend Ben, I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't realize I was doing this the whole time. He's like, no, you look like you're having fun. He was just like playing his like Game Boy or DS or whatever it was at the time. And just like, I just left, and then we got out there. And,
that's great.
and that's when I was like, I need this game.
Like
and
I
mowing
remember
the
you
lawn.
showing that to me.
Camera
I
pans
remember you
out.
showing that to
Oh
me.
my god.
yeah,
This is
exactly.
People are like doing
Enjoy
chores
it.
around the house, making dinner. Is he staying? I guess so. Mowing the lawn. Joe, it's
Exactly.
Tuesday. Go home. The
I just-
weekend's over.
yeah, I just got so lost in it.
Oh, that's good.
And that's what I like still about RPGs, just getting lost in your character and stuff like that.
The immersion. Oh, the
Exactly.
immersion. Like you got movies in your head,
Mhm.
and you just want to get them out there and share them. No, that's cool. That's very cool. So sticking with Joe, we'll switch things around here.
Sure.
How long have you been a gamer? Oblivion, like I even mentioned in a former interview, like that first trap, and you're like, "Tee, I see the rope," and you kick it, and it's like, or you jump over it, and then you run back, going, "No, I want to see what happens," and you come back and you kick the rope, right? Kick the rope, and watch the logs go. Yeah, I spent like
a long time.
The first mission, I spent like 3 hours just dicking around with the same,
Getting out of the sewers.
same shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great. And then Picard asks you, "So what are you? What do you want to be?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. Just same thing like character creation. There's this, but there's the sorcerer, but there's this. It was mean. The game was mean." Sorry. So how long have you been a gamer?
A long time. I mean, even since I was really little, I'd play little PC games, like just little backyard sports games and stuff like that. But tabletop gaming since 2012.
That sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Connor and I got into Pathfinder, and it was at first just the two of us. We didn't have anybody else to play with.
We had another guy that would come sometimes.
And yeah, Owen would come sometimes. That's true. And then when we got to college, we introduced it to a lot of our friends there, and that's
spread
where
the drug.
all the other guys and women, Talia on the podcast right now, are all from college, and then we introduced it to them there.
All right on. So how about you? Like you were talking about your early theater days, Connery. Like how many years are we talking? How long have you been a gamer? How long have you been playing RPGs?
How long? I started playing video games probably early on. Like I don't know. I think maybe I'm at like 9 or 10 or something like that. But my friends had a Nintendo 64, and I was terrified to play Legend of Zelda. Like I think it was Ocarina of Time. Yeah, it was Ocarina of Time, and I was terrified. I was stuck in the Kuroko tree or whatever that thing is for so long, and that spider would kill me over, and the big boss at the very end of that would kill me over and over again. But moving forward from there, I've probably been playing video games. Especially, I'm hot on Borderlands 3 right now, and actually Joe came in and I was playing Borderlands 3. But
don't you have an interview today? Yeah,
yeah, I think so. Just give me a minute. Yeah. I'm about to level up. But yeah, probably. Let's say probably when the PS2 came out, I played Kingdom Hearts, and I'm pretty sure that like marks my entry into actually like playing video games. So that might have been like 2000, I don't know, whenever Kingdom Hearts first came
Yeah,
out.
no,
on PS2.
I remember those. The wife played both of those.
Yeah.
I was busy playing GoldenEye on the 64, but
Oh,
I've seen her play through those. It's like, honey,
Oh, Kingdom Hearts is so much fun.
yeah,
God bless that game.
that looks fun. Can I like? Okay, honey. Yeah. I got a gamer girl wife, and everyone's like, "You're so lucky." It's like, no, that halves your gaming time, if you're lucky.
Exactly.
It's more of a 60-40 for her, So the biggest question, but I want to jump. Actually, I want to jump to the end. I'd like to know if you guys don't mind telling me,
Yeah.
where are you guys at? I know you're 3 hours behind me here in
Yes.
Ontario, Canada. So you're on the west coast.
West Coast.
Where are we
We're in Los
broadcasting from?
Angeles, California.
Oh, no way!
Sunny LA, baby.
Sunny LA, yep.
Oh,
Both of us
wow.
born and raised here.
Mhm.
Oh, I have questions. My wife's home
Yeah,
camp.
so you may ask them.
Well, just like my private game with my wife is an alternate America, LA, and we use D20 Modern and Pathfinder 1, and it's like a magical world, the alternate magic in LA kind of thing.
Mhm.
You ever see the anime,
That's
the
cool.
brand new anime called Copcraft? It's like that show came out. I'm like, they stole our idea, honey. Look at this. We'll have to start over, because we've been making notes going, maybe we could present this. Nope. Anime stole it.
Nope, it's not.
Just like
That's always how it
just
goes.
just like Snowpiercer, Zombies on a Train stole Joseph's idea. It's all right. It's done.
Yeah.
It's already done. Nothing new. So you guys are in LA, and what do you guys do for a living?
Oh, do you want to go first, Joe?
Sure. Yeah, I work in the camera department on TV shows and mostly TV shows, some commercial stuff like that. I PA'd for a long time too, but right now I'm freelancing.
Yeah,
on
you got a
different
face
shows
for
and-
radio. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you guys
exactly.
are doing the audio. You guys should do it. No, seriously, for those listening to the podcast aspect of this episode as opposed to the video, now we do have this uploaded. We're streaming live on twitch.tv/GM's Cut because it is raw. We're going to upload to our YouTube channel at the Mongers Network soon. And for those of you that are just driving in your car, that want to get to know Connor and Joseph, a little bit better.
My name's
I'm looking at two guys. I'm looking at Joss Wheaton.
Oh.
Um, and Jacob Gyllenhaal.
I've gotten that before.
He
I'm
looks like
honestly,
Jake-
and I was
he loo-
shocked
he
to hear
looks
that.
like- he looks
but
like
I was
Jake
like, I will take
Gyllenhaal.
that compliment.
You're giving me Jake Gyllenhaal and I'm Joss Whedon. Wow.
Well, you got it's the beards. Each of you the beards,
Yeah.
right? And one's
He
got
gets John Hamm a lot.
What-
I'm
what-
I
super
get John
our
Hamm
friend.
sometimes.
one's got the extra thick eyebrow and the baseball hat like Jake, and the other one has the dome, to put it nicely.
Yeah.
So
I moved my hair from the top to the bottom of my face.
Oh, that's a good one. I love this camera because there's all these front shots, and if I turn sideways, you can see what's disappearing at the back. But it's moving down the back. But we're not going to talk about that.
Oh, that's good.
Uh-huh.
What happened to me was like I lost from like the side here, and then I got a big
Oh.
hole in the back, and I was like, you know what, screw this. I just had to get rid of it all.
That's awesome. Well, I love the headphones you got.
It's not awesome.
Because no, you look like Lobo from
Rocket
Empire
Man.
Strikes Back. He's got the big headset on. He looks like Lobo from Empire Strikes
Oh, I
Back.
do look like Lobo. that one I agree with.
Anyway, sorry. Just why are you picking on the guests, Jeff? Well, it's a show. So
We're complimenting the
what?
guests.
Yes. What made you guys? The big question. What made you guys start making your own content? Are you two, the driving force behind Starship Impala? Why did you choose Starfinder when everyone's doing 5th edition D&D? Like so many questions we have already.
Well, originally we played Pathfinder a lot, and Joe was our GM then, and I listened to a lot of I think a lot of the really, really popular lists. Like I like Drunks and Dragons. I listened through most of that, and I think they're called, what are they called? Like Greetings Adventures, I think what they rebranded themselves as. And then I listened to Adventure Zone as well, and I'm like, these are so much fun. I love these, and I'm like, and our group has so many fun moments that I'm like, I want to hold on to these really cool epic moments that we've shared together. And I'm like, and if other people want to listen, like I think that's great. And so I pitched it to Joseph first, and I was like, do you think everyone would be down to do this? And he was like, I think so. Like, let's give it a shot. And I pitched to the rest of our usual group, and they all agreed. And it kind of just went from there, from our really beginning awkward first episode of Starfinder, where it's just pretty nasty. But then we just go better and better from there till we're at season 2, and we've ironed out a lot of the kinks, and Joe's taking the wheel, and he just does incredible work, like sound effects and some great music now.
You start off with the old Yeti on omnidirectional in the center of the kitchen table and work your way up to
We
pop
were actually
filters.
lucky
and-
enough to
No,
always,
Yeah, we had mics from the beginning.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we just now I'm fortunate. My roommate works in the industry as well, doing audio. So we're really lucky with that. Whenever he can make a session, he'll be mixing the audio for us, and that helps a ton.
Nice.
But whenever he misses is when we have to go in and do a lot of editing and post.
Do you guys use Sirenscape, or do you like tabletop audio? I'm always on about because I interviewed Tim.
I love tabletop audio when I play off the podcast, but I instead of recording sound effects at the table, I just do it in post.
We have an interview with Tim himself. And he's the nicest guy. I mean, everyone, I'm so lucky, everyone like yourselves, just everyone's so nice for being on the show and everyone, but it's one of my favorite interviews because he's sitting in the studio and you see all the gear, and he's in Brooklyn and he's, just a really nice down to earth guy. And I'm like, I love your stuff.
In a blank office.
Well, for me, it's like a fan moment because I've been using his stuff. And then when he returned my calls and got on the show, I it's hard not to geek out with some of these guys going, I love your stuff. I use your stuff. Screw Sirenscape. Everyone's on that bandwagon. I can't afford that. I'm using your stuff. It's free. His stuff is free. So
and it's so good.
We edit in Audacity. Why? Because it's free. So much money goes into his passions elsewhere, right? So if you don't mind a technical question, what am I looking at? What's in front of you? What kind of microphone you got there?
I don't know. I literally just went to the audio store and I was like, or the guitar center or guitar world.
I believe they're Sennheisers, right?
But Sennheisers. So
my roommate would know better.
Yeah, Jose would know.
Well, there's the price point. Like I said, if you pay under $100, you're in a certain type of quality. If you pay over $100 to like anywhere from 100 to 3, you're at another price point. And then there's the 400 and beyond, which is ridiculous, but.
We're like mid tier. We're like a little over like 100.
And that's where you want to be. You're still an amateur podcast. You don't want to like mortgage your house like I did to pay for stuff. As I've always bragging, everyone likes the AT 2020, but I've got an AT 2035. And I love this microphone. It's XLR. It is a powered microphone, and a lot of people don't get the difference between. Yes, direct USB mics are great. They're affordable. They are good quality, but there is a muddiness, almost a muted muddiness to your voice where when you go into a power one and there's, it's that hissing, it's no, like you can edit that out and, or you can adjust some levels and then your voice it really sounds like the guy standing next to you as opposed to just like, we love our podcast. Good for you,
Yeah.
And like I said, not knocking anyone with a low budget or that has decided on certain mics, but I've met so many people like myself that just didn't know and thought this was the industry standard because somebody told me.
It's literally just a slow education to move through this thing where I feel like we started with even like a different set of microphones and like we've even upgraded slowly over the course of when we could afford to get them and even learning what microphones you're supposed to get and have for something like this.
Our recommendation here at Mongers at Dice White Entertainment is a mid-level mic. It's right in the middle, does everything. It's called the Audio Technica 2100. It is gray. It's a straight dynamic microphone, but it is a USB and can take an XLR cable, so you can keep the same mic and upgrade it. And 90% of my cast have this microphone. Nice. Because you don't expect everyone to lay out 200 Canadian for something like this monstrosity. But anyway, sorry, enough about me. I edit the shows, and the technical aspect does always interest me, and I always got to ask, what do you got going? What do you use?
What's your rig, man?
Seriously, like what's the rig? Like I got tired of lampshades from Mueller falling apart, and I finally broke down and very painfully bought the $120 Rhodes armature. And it's like, this thing is awesome. It is so smooth and heavy and just, and everyone else has the crappy $20 needler thing. The pins are falling out of it, But again, there's nothing wrong with it. You make use of it, but if you want to buy stuff one time,
that's good.
But, you could blow $400 in a Rhodes mic and they're not for everyone. And they're very quiet and, that type of thing. There is a personal preference. There's a lot of stuff on the net where people do mic comparisons. And everyone just waits to the end going, yeah, which one did you pick? They don't listen to the guy. And the first thing he says is, my room might be different than your room. My voice might be different than your voice. I went through a lot of microphones before I could pick up one that actually does my very flat, boring voice justice for the longest time. But anyway, So you've already answered my next question. I was going to ask, was there a specific inspiration where you guys would actually start, an actual live show? You were saying, you want to share the memories, that type of thing. That's a very common answer, and it's a great answer. It's one of my favorite answers, because so many people I talk to say, we are having such a great time, let's make money doing it. No. Okay.
No.
You throw money into this pit. There's no money in podcasting. Now, if you get a fan base and they're nice enough to hook you up on Patreon and type of thing, or monetization, right? And again,
which we have.
That's like helps pay the bills, type of thing. You got to devote your beer money, your Xbox money, your golf money. That's gone now. The money is required to do this. But it's not horribly expensive. You can get a single host. I mean, there's even places you can host like Anchor FM for free. Like for the discerning amateur that wants to like close as many doors as possible quickly, going, I need a free host, Anchor FM. I need a cheap mic. That's your decision. I'm not going to touch that one. I need this, blah, 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 blah. Here's my show. But I'll tell you this, you can only make that first impression once.
Oh, totally.
And I've ruined mine like 5 times now. So with the wrong mic, the wrong attitude, the wrong hounding of the wrong people. But, because some people go, oh, their guy, they don't start at episode 70. They don't start your latest show. They'll go back to your first show, your first mic, episode 1. And it's this big crackly mess of, oh, we're so excited. We're podcasting. No, you're not. You're just kind of.
Like we're not excited. We're all terrified. Like we're all so nervous.
No, but that's mean. I actually have admiration, respect for anybody ballsy enough to plug something in and go, hello, ding, ding, ding. This is me. And I can't take back anything I say, even in editing. You're just not yourself on tape. You put forward something and people start loving you, hating you, commenting, whatever. It never goes away. To be brave on the internet. So many people are brave. No, they're not. They're anonymous. They can just make comments and run away and you have no idea who they are. For you guys to show your faces, to put up your content, to share that love, that chemistry around the table, I have nothing but respect for you and the rest of the community.
Thank you.
As much
and
as
vice versa. You have so many different shows. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm greedy. I wanted a network. I didn't want to put all my eggs in one basket. But you don't want to get me on that story. I just
You got it.
There's no bad Star Wars, there's no bad gaming, and there's just so many things and so many people. I have a large crew, and even though we keep shuffling off in games, it's like we're supposed to have a 4-man crew for Star Wars, and it's up to like 7 because everyone's like, oh, we're playing Star Wars, can I sit on that? Sure you can. You can play the Wookiee that's supposed to assassinate everybody. They're like, cool.
I wish we had that problem. We have to
we have people come in and out.
Yeah.
We have when we do for this season, we did some origin stories that we recorded before we started the season, so that everyone knew their character's origin. And we had guests come in for that.
Yeah, that was really
fun.
fun.
They would play the origin stories.
A lot of it could be timing. Like what day or night do you record?
Usually weekends.
Yeah, weekends.
Yeah, because if it's
like most time it's Sundays.
If it's like Friday, forget about it. Everyone goes, oh, I'd love to be on your show, but Friday, no, I'm doing this. Like that's their night, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's usually Sundays we go to church, and by church I mean we roll dice at each other.
We usually, it's usually Sunday or Saturday morning sometimes.
Yeah, Saturday morning sometimes, but we
Saturday,
sit
Sunday
down
morning.
and record like 5 hours in a row.
We'll have my people call your people. I got guys. I got lots of guys with lots of dice. And
nice.
Actually, I'd love it if you guys sit in with our character generation of episode 0 of our Starfinder and show.
Hey, we'd love to
walk through. But you know what? Sorry, we're here to talk about you, not us. But Ed, how long have you guys been running? How long have you been creating this content?
This
November
is
2017, because it was shortly after Starfinder came out, which was August 2017. And we picked it up. We really liked it. We picked up that they did that pre-release. I forget, the First Contact, I think they called it. We picked that up, really liked it.
Yeah, we played that during your
we did a Pathfinder crossover where they got teleported to an alternate dimension, and I threw all these Starfinder things at them.
Oh, that was super trippy. Gave us all guns. You're like, now go. We're like, what is happening?
Beyond the gap.
Yeah. And then and so then we started November. We started recording November 2017. I think we released the first one January 2018.
All right on.
So about a year and a half of a year and 8 months of content being put out.
That's good.
86 episodes, I believe now.
So Starship Impala is into its second season, because you talked about the Emma season. So you're into book 2, or what are you actually running? Like, what content are you putting up? What are you running?
We actually homebrew.
Yeah. So we do a lot of
Oh,
homebrew
yes,
stuff.
of
Yeah. So
course.
like
Yes.
the first season is an original story. The second
Konnery
season,
wrote.
yeah, that I wrote, and the second season is Joe's original story.
Mhm.
Awesome.
And we've been comparing it to like what would you say? It was like Star Trek versus Star Wars kind of thing.
Yeah.
No,
Where Konnery is
that's cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
You guys must know about Iron Gods, which was your first Starfinder.
Yes.
It's set in first edition, but it touches on all things Starfinder because it has the androids, it has the mothership, it has all the alien races running around. Are you guys familiar with Iron Gods, right? So as not to step on the toes of Rick Sanchez and find the path, which congratulations, shout out to Rick Sanchez, who just became licensed by Paizo, and they're going to be doing Tyrant's Graph soon.
Nice.
See, it sounds like name dropping. No, I'm just excited for the guy.
Yeah, it's good. No.
Fun fact, like Mongers was formed to do one podcast, Mummy's Mask. We got 5 episodes after 3 years. Like we're still trying to get this off the ground. But we had a sci-fi element. We had an android wander out of Iron Gods, which happens around the same time, and enter the show, and a bunch of stuff going on. And like you said, you're a bit of a homebrew, right? I'm cheating.
Yeah.
I'm using a real adventure, but I'm like adding a couple things, expanding the storyline. But for you guys to take on like your own story, just using the core rules and stuff out of the gate, that takes moxie, man. That's cool. And you're offering something that
we're full of its moxie.
Yeah, everyone's doing Dead Sons, right?
Yeah, that's what I've seen. I was like, you know what?
It's the only one out. Well, now they just released a new one, but
oh, they got 5.
Yeah.
They got 5.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
okay.
They have a bunch.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But
yes, Starfinder GM. They have several.
Well, I homebrew, so you know.
Yeah, exactly. But I
yeah.
think it's really good that we do that because personally, I like telling stories a little bit more personal to me. And like I said, like the last one we called Cycles, just because it was really all about like I kind of played with the idea of the gap, and it's actually just being this interstellar being, just like snapping reality back to start every single time the universe is about to end. So he keeps on restarting and restarting and restarting this never-ending cycle.
Kind of like the Mass Effect, the 50,000 year thing, where they just keep moving.
Exactly,
on
yeah. So they with like the Reapers come back, except he can just do it like a Thanos snap of his finger and be like, and be like, and we're back. And then it's up to these characters to figure out, well, why is he doing this? Like, what's happening, and who are we in this whole mess? Are we like supposed to be doing this? Every single thing we fight seems to be telling us, you have to stop. This is like the way shit works.
That's cool, Konnery, but kind of douchey because every time you snap your fingers, you know, like Robert Downey Jr. has to die. So
that's what I do every time.
Obviously this is your biggest passion, but how many different shows do you have? Are you guys putting everything into this, and you're switching the DMs around, and your homebrew? Like it's a plethora of shows in itself, really. I guess I just kind of answered my own questions. Like, who needs another show when you guys can constantly shake this one up, right?
Yeah, we have a bunch of different, like, especially season 1 is a bunch of like subsections of like little mini parters. Like we have one I did with my sister called Cadet Chronicles, and that one's about like her in like a high school. It's we play very light with the rules. I'll say that. But
with that one, yeah.
With that one especially, because it's mostly pretty much an improv podcast of me making her roll dice to see what.
Yep. Watch the first season of the new She-Ra, where they've got her in the, like, you know, training corp. It's like a Starship Troopers meets what you were saying. But so, what about the fans? Like, do you guys attend conventions, gatherings in LA? You know, where could fans find you?
We've yet to do that, actually.
I'd love to, yeah. But we are on Instagram, Twitter, our website, www.starshipimpalapodcast.com.
And you know what? Hey, if you're listening to this and you do like our show, like, reach out to us and say hi. Like, please let us know you're out there.
Yeah. But now, if they don't want to do it publicly, do you have an email where they could just privately shoot you something as opposed to
starshipimpalapodcast@gmail.com?
Starship Impala. IMPALA, just to be sure. I'm reading it on your sticker. Look, if you're watching the video, look right up there, and you'll see their logo that I pulled up, Starship Impala. I love the logo. It really has that Trek feel to it.
That's awesome.
The gliding
his little brother made it.
Yeah, my younger brother is a graphic designer up in Portland, and he made that for us. And we just really love it.
That's beautiful.
I'm one of the few people that actually love Star Wars and Star Trek. I don't know why there's it's
Oh yeah.
it's more sci-fi. It's good stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Have you guys seen Stargate Atlantis? Have you guys seen Trek? Have you guys seen Star Wars? Have you guys seen Firefly? Come on, it's Star Wars for adults. Battlestar Galactica. Exactly. I remember the original when I was like a kid.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
The old Buck Rogers show.
We do have one show that's going to be spinning out of this one where we're doing a D&D 5e game.
Yeah.
But we're doing a.
Right. Sorry, the enemy. Right.
I know, right? Exactly. I had to push Joe a lot to be like, because I played 5e so rarely, but I do think it's fun, and I kind of wanted to do like a show. But we're doing It's like Storm King's Thunder, Wrath of the Storm King. I forget the exact name of the module, but we're going to be probably like setting it in that world, but we're probably going to spin out to more like homebrew stuff inside that kind of place. So we'll see where that leads.
No, that's cool. So do you guys have, like, I love the logo. You had it designed. Do you guys have this logo on t-shirts? Let's talk merchandising.
Ding, ding, ding.
Right? Where the real money from the movie is made.
All we have are pins.
Yep.
Which are pretty cool. It's our logo on a pin.
Oh, well, I love swag. You send me a pin, I'll wear it on air. Like
that's so good.
We've got a guy, JV Torres, who I interviewed, and he does this alternate American book called The Rise of King Asilas. What if after the war America converted to this, here, you, king, solve all our problems kind of thing. And he's turned into a podcast audiobook. And he sent me a t-shirt. Nice. And I was like, oh, look at this, guys. I got a t-shirt. And all my guys are like, I want one. 3 Canadians want this like mutilated American flag that has a crown instead of where the stars are in the star bangledness.
That reminds me of that Assassin's Creed 3 DLC where like Washington makes himself king after they win the war with the British.
There you go.
That's cool. That's sick.
No, it's really good. But anyway,
we'd love to get like the t-shirts going, but it's a matter of, like you said, the money and the.
No, you know what?
And you can make people that will buy.
I can tell you where you can make t-shirts for free. Where we do, you go to teespring.com. And you have 2 options. You can just make a shirt to sell to yourself, cheap their cost, or you can make a shirt to sell and they give you a virtual store, right? So in a nutshell, okay, and this is why t-shirts with logos cost $50. And it's like, no one's going to buy my shirt for $50. Well, Teespring, now this is Canadian prices. I don't know how this works in American prices, but let's see if I can't dumb it down. So $11.99 Canadian they want from you is like $8-9 American, right?
Okay.
So they're going, the shirt costs this because that's what they want from it, right? Then they say, okay, there's shipping, and that's what kills you, because that could be $10 to $30 wherever it goes, which can almost double the price. Then there's how much do you want? They recommend you take what they take, which again doubles or triples the price. So we put up a line and then saw the prices at the end and went, oh, no. So not only do they have options to like pick your favorite charity, we have MS going. I took all the cost points of everything we have, mug shirts, down to like $1, $5 tops. Because it's like, please wear our shirt. Do the advertising. We're so stoked that somebody would buy a shirt, not like nail a guy for $5-10 a pop. So the shirts go from $50 down to like, $25, $30. I'd pay a shirt. I'd buy the Starship Impala with the, kind of thing. You can upload your logo. You can go through their stuff, teespring.com, and you'll lose a day. Like I made a shirt, took me a day because you're just fidgeting with it, right? But before, there is something that I don't like about Teespring. Before you click go and send, go back and in the editor, show you the shirt. Like I know you can see it and you're lining everything up and it fits everything perfectly, but there's this mode where you can go show me the shirt and the printing will all shift. And I don't know why. And you could end up with a lot of money spent on something that's oblong. But we took my daughter as a present, where is it? I just like, here, let me show you something, right?
Ooh, show.
Oh, no, can't do it. Camera's mounted.
Everything just exploded.
See that on the wall there? That cartoon?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right?
That's great.
So that's a cartoon cast of our We Shot First podcast that as a present, my daughter commissioned a Ukrainian artist, and that's the original print that he mailed to her. So
that's so cool.
We copied it, we colored it, we use it as our thing. It's the characters, and they're still alive, even though I tried to kill them several times.
Same, bud.
But I uploaded that to a t-shirt. And we've got one of our super fans, Doug Baldwin, who's actually been on the show, because we love this guy. He's bought 3 of our shirts and he wears them around conventions. Right? And I'm like,
That's
that's our
awesome.
guy. It's our free
Nice.
advertising, right? So like,
Yeah.
you guys make a shirt.
You're in that seat.
Yep. You make a shirt, send it up here in Canada. We will wear them. You know, we'll tell the world about
All right,
Impala. 'Cause
sweet. All right.
Appreciate that.
Homebrew.
That's awesome.
Well, we're about to enter in the Starfinder world ourselves, doing frequency of screams, and we're going to call it
Yeah.
Static Fear.
Ooh.
But I had reached out to other podcasters. Again, dropping Rick's name. He's a nice guy. What can I say? Rick Sanchez.
Mhm.
I called him up and said, hey, I've been trying to do Mummy's Mask forever. I'd like to interview for you for the show. And he's like, hey, a rising tide lifts all ships. You know, you're not competition. You guys are part of a
Yeah,
community.
totally.
And
Absolutely.
you're on the show, so we can talk about you, even though we're ended up talking about... Right. So next question. Get out there, make some merchandise, sell some pins, you know,
Yeah.
get
Oh, yeah,
get
totally.
to the
We need to-
LA
we need to get on that
convention, you
train.
know. Right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
what's in the future for you guys? Like what is there, you guys whispering about the next podcast or the next stage for season 3? Like what's out there? What can we expect?
I don't know really for like especially season 3. That's like a year and a half possibly away. That's
yeah.
like
So yeah, our seasons are pretty long,
Mhm.
but as we mentioned, we're doing the D&D 5e.
Yep.
We'd like to do. We've talked about this, like a GM podcast
Mhm.
where we have people, which this might be a thing that would be good for a sort of like a Twitch or something where people can ask us questions. And just Connery and I have both been DMing fairly, not as long as you,
No.
but fairly long.
Mhm.
And
No,
give our,
yeah.
our wisdom and feedback,
Yes,
and especially with home brewing.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
You know?
We interviewed Nicole Tuttle, and she's on Twitter, and it's GM to GM. And like, guys, truth is truth. If you come across a nugget of wisdom and you want to share it to another GM and go, hey, this works for me, it doesn't matter how many years, you know, page 430. No. Yeah, I keep being told, don't tell them how long why your age is showing because you've been doing 30 years. It doesn't mean I'm a good, it doesn't mean I'm a good GM. I've just been doing it for, it doesn't make you good at it, ladies and gentlemen. It just means I love to do it. Doesn't mean I'm any good.
No, and that's great. Like, it's so it's so fun to do that and just like be able to tell a story and go crazy with it.
Well,
Yeah.
I could do you solid. We just started a Twitch live feed on Sunday nights called Simply Second Edition. And my favorite rules lawyer, an old buddy this is a guy who like, sits in bed an hour a night and will crack the core book and just read it. And like, so we have him in our Age of Ashes live stream, and I'm like, Joe, back me on this because we're just learning second edition Pathfinder rules, type of thing.
Yeah.
But to have a committee, like have people ask you, hey, this is what we know about Starfinder, or this, I could, we could probably get some GMs and throw them your way, get you the
that'd be
the Impala
fantastic.
channel, like hook you guys up. Got to have you guys on our other show talking about this stuff.
That'd be great.
And
Dude, we'd love to.
Networking, I'll get you some people.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of the guys I've worked with, I'd like to say have a positive experience and would love to come back on the show. And like, they just love meeting other content creators. Every time there's a con, I see on Instagram and stuff, had a great time. We're this podcast. We met that podcast. And now we're all doing this. And I'm like, oh, you fucking bastards. I want to be there. I want to shake the hand. I want to like,
I've been waiting for this so we can cuss.
I envy you Americans so much. You just get together and you hug and you drink and you're like, oh, roll the dice, And no, we have cons and stuff up here in Canada, and I've been meaning to get to one. My curse is my job is weekend heavy, and so it's like,
weekend.
Yeah, good luck trying to get a weekend of what I do. But anyway, so. You've heard it here first. They don't go to cons, but maybe we can talk these two into showing up at a couple.
I'd love
so you guys
to.
can meet
it'd be really fun.
right? Wear the pin, But guys, don't try to sell the show. Like, be yourselves. Wait to be recognized. So when they come up and they just start going, it's Jake Gyllenhaal. Just go with it. Just click and just go with it.
And there's that tiny wretch of a man, Joss Whedon.
Marvel's over. You're done. You killed Iron Man. We don't want to talk to you anymore. You're done.
Get out of here.
You've had your 10 years. Move on. You're done. You're done. I'm telling you.
That's why I sympathize a little more in that aspect with them now.
I'm GM Jeff Ball. It has been a distinct pleasure and honor talking to Konnery Hansen today and Joseph Horne of the Starship Impala Starfinder podcast. Check them out. Where can we find your podcast?
Find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Podcasts.
Google Play. Awesome.
Yes, Google Play Podcasts.
Yeah.
And that's
Starship
where
Impala.
so far.
Yeah. All right. All right,
Maybe
guys.
on Spotify one day. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Actually, Spotify is really good for us. If you guys make Spreaker one of your hosts, it sets you up for Spotify, Castbox, a whole bunch of them, type of thing.
Oh.
It's worth the $35 a month Canadian, I'm telling you.
Okay.
But again, like costs and everything. If you have one podcast, there's ways of getting it up cheaply for $100 a year. If you're trying to do the ridiculous amount of mess that I'm trying to do, I need lots of gigabyte space in a host.
Yeah.
And so we pay several hosts and try and go up. But guys,
Totally.
thank you so much for being on the show today.
Well,
Thanks
you
for having us.
This is GM Jeff calling from 3 hours in the future because in LA, that kind of thing's going on. Thank you so
Sun's
much.
still out, baby.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the sun is setting here in Canada. Thank you all for coming and listening, and we will see you next time on Attack of Opportunity.